his belt. Find out what this means heading into Super Tuesday.
It's official, the Rams will be practicing in Southern California this spring. Hear why local business owners are happy to welcome them to town.
And a USC student speaks out just one day after being struck by an Uber driver while on his skateboard. Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
With Super Tuesday fast approaching, the GOP's frontrunner shows no signs of slowing down. Good evening, I'm Suji Nam.
And I'm Scott Cook. Heading into the biggest day of primary season, Donald Trump is trying to clinch his party's nomination. The Republican frontrunner won the majority of votes in the Nevada caucus last night, making this his third primary win.
Now we're winning the country. We won with young, we won with old, we won with highly educated, we won with poorly educated.
Trump's win in Nevada places him far ahead of the other candidates, and he is well on the way to 1,237 delegates needed to be the GOP nominee. Right now, Trump has 82 delegates. Next Tuesday is Super Tuesday, where almost 600 delegates are up for grabs. Going into Tuesday, Ted Cruz has 18 delegates and Marco Rubio has 16. One political expert weighed in on the GOP race.
If at some point the field narrows itself to just two candidates, Trump himself and someone we'll call un-Trump, then it's entirely possible that that second candidate can still defeat him for the nomination. But the longer it takes for the field to narrow, and the longer 3 or 4 or 5 candidates stay in the race, the better that is for Trump. He's certainly in a much stronger position today than anyone would have predicted several months ago, probably including him.
The president of USC College Republicans today talked about his reaction to Trump's success.
He's not tied to donors who are going to pull out funding if he makes the wrong policy decision. He simply doesn't care, and I think that that's something that's connecting the voters to him, and they're really interested in that. I think it means that there will be a lot of changes in the Republican Party. There'll have to be, inevitably, there'd be an acceptance of him as the candidate, and I think you're already starting to see that happen.
Voters in 12 states will take part in primaries and caucuses for Super Tuesday.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott will endorse GOP presidential candidate Ted Cruz. This is the candidate's highest-ranking political endorsement so far in the race.
I'm asking my fellow Texans to join me in supporting a true fighter for liberty, a proven conservative who will keep America the greatest and freest nation in the history of the entire world. Join me in voting for Ted Cruz for President of the United States of America.
Cruz was appointed Texas Solicitor General 13 years ago when Abbott was a state attorney general. Tomorrow, all 5 Republican candidates, Cruz, Trump, Rubio, Kasich, and Carson, will take the debate stage in Houston. Hillary Clinton also won a key endorsement. This one was from Senate Minority Leader Harry Reid. The announcement comes just days after Clinton won the primary in Reid's home state of Nevada.
I think the middle class would be better served by Hillary. When she was the First Lady, she started the trend toward doing something about health care. She understood the issue well. She's a person who is a very quick learner. All you need to do is look at what happened after 9/11. Gee, did she do a good job. I also think that she's the woman to be the first president of the United States that's a female.
Democratic candidate Bernie Sanders was campaigning in Kansas City. The Kansas caucus is March 5th. Former California State Senator Leland Yee was sentenced to 5 years in prison for taking nearly $28,000 in bribes. Prosecutors say he was planning to use the money to finance his campaign for Secretary of State. Yee's attorneys asked the judge to take into account his years of public service and the fact that his wife is very sick.
A deadly shootout in a Colorado mountain community this morning ended in the deaths of the attacker and 1 deputy. 2 other deputies were severely injured. At 9:30 this morning, 3 Colorado deputies arrived at a man's home to serve an eviction notice. The former homeowner lost a court battle 2 years ago. Investigators have not confirmed whether the gunman was killed by the deputies.
They were confronted by a subject who was armed. The subject fired. There were 3 members of the Park County Sheriff's Office that were hit. One of those deputies lost his life.
One of the 2 injured deputies had life-threatening wounds and underwent surgery. The shootout occurred in a hillside community 45 miles southwest of Denver. The Los Angeles County DA has declined to immediately file charges against the suspect arrested in the shooting death of a 1-year-old Compton girl. Residents are still grieving.
I think it really makes people become more aware, and I think it's going to change a lot of dynamics here in Compton. I was kind of like hurt with this 1-year-old baby to never be able to graduate nor be able to get married or go to school and, you know, just enjoy life. But the pastor said one good thing at the eulogy. He said that God does things sometimes to get our attention, and that hit me because it did get my attention.
Authorities are offering $75,000 for information leading to the arrest of others connected to the shooting.
The Los Angeles Rams are officially coming home. Reporter Caroline Deisley went out to visit the site of where they will first start practicing.
This is where the Rams will begin their quest to bring a Super Bowl back to LA for the first time since 1984. This site in Oxnard is just about 55 miles north of LA, and the practice field is just yards away from the players' hotel rooms at this Marriott Residence Inn.
Normally, from what I understand, when they do this kind of exercises before the full-blown camp, people usually just commute.
This is unique because the Rams are commuting from halfway across the country in St. Louis, and the fans could not be more excited.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see a team, and I can finally get to go instead of just like all the other teams are very far, like Oakland, San Francisco, so I'm excited.
The hotel is used to accommodating football teams. They've hosted the Dallas Cowboys for fall training camp 10 times since 2001. But there are some challenges, like proper field maintenance.
They want the fields to be, you know, of the NFL quality. Yeah, obviously you don't want some superstar recruit stepping into a gopher hole out there. So.
Last night, the City Council voted to approve this site directly behind me, the new site of spring training for the Los Angeles Rams. This decision alone is going to bring in nearly $100,000 for the county, not to mention what it's going to do for the local businesses.
We get busier, especially in the morning, because there's a lot of people who come here right before they go to the camps, which is just like a couple miles down the road.
Because normally people that don't normally come into Oxnard will and then when they come, they'll come to the stores and shop around more, so it kind of affects us more, making us sell more stuff too.
More than anything, spring practice brings fans.
It's exciting to see the fans get all dressed up because they're excited, and then you see them coming in the store with like their cliques or their family or their friends, and they're just like, oh, are you guys going to the camp? And that's the best part.
Excitement is buzzing, but it's only temporary. The Cowboys are still under contract to use this site in Oxnard, so the Rams are looking for practice fields at places like UC Irvine and Cal Lutheran to call home. For Annenberg Media, I'm Caroline Deisley.
If you've filled up your gas tank lately, you know that prices have dropped. In fact, gas prices are now the lowest price they've been since May of 2009. The Oil Price Information Service says that the average gas price in LA County has dropped 46 of the past 47 days. The price of gas is 13 cents lower than it was a week ago and 47 cents lower than it was a month ago.
I feel it's great. I have the advantage to be able to keep some money in my pocket.
I drive a Toyota Prius. You know, I spend like $15, fills up my gas tank, and it lasts me about 2 to 3 days, so I'm happy.
I can go longer distances to get my errands done without worrying about running out of gas.
As an added bonus, the tax on gasoline is also dropping by 2.2 cents per gallon. Both the Dow and the Nasdaq were up today. The Dow went up 53 points to close at 16,485. The Nasdaq rose 39 points to close at 4,542.
After the break, we'll hear from a student hit by a car while riding his skateboard outside Taper Hall last night.
A rally at Los Angeles Southwest College celebrating Black History Month helped register a new wave of voters.
And local high school students heard from a special speaker about the future of space exploration. Find out what the woman in this spacesuit had to say.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school? Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home walk restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
French fries. Finding best potatoes.
No!
Russet. Fingerling. Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
A Trojan skateboarder is recovering today after an Uber driver struck him last night on campus.
Yeah, I was on my skateboard. It was at this very spot. I was heading towards downtown, skating at a reasonable speed, about 7 miles an hour. Never thought about getting hit, and all of a sudden a car plowed into the side of me as soon as I went halfway through the crosswalk. I went to the Los Angeles hospital immediately after getting hit to get it checked out, and they said my knee seems to be a little bit out of place. They said it's not any bone problem, but it could be ligament, and that means a possible surgery if I don't stay off of it. It's a very tricky situation because this is done on private property, and a stop sign is put there from a private institution, USC, rather than the state. And so there's a lot of different laws in play here that I can't really decipher at the time.
ATVN reached out to Uber but said they cannot make a comment until they get more information.
Today, Los Angeles Southwest College hosted a Black History Month peace rally where they invited officers from LAPD's Southwest Division to speak with students about community relations.
I think it was a positive thing for the community, for the police officers to come and answer questions that we may have regarding the force and the way that things are handled in the community.
The officers held a Q&A with students, and both sides worked together to better understand each other. The rally also acted as a voter registration drive to encourage minority students to vote in the upcoming elections.
We also have a variety of especially students here at college, so I think that's a good target for us to target on students because that's our future. It's never too early to register people to vote.
It was provided at the rally as well as a live DJ. Watts musician Charles Wright was also there promoting his new book titled Up From Where We've Come.
The Los Angeles Town Hall wants to get students excited about math and science. To do this, they brought in a NASA astronaut to teach students about the future of space travel. Local high school students got an inside peek into the life of an astronaut. Yvonne Cagle attended a town hall event to encourage students to learn more about math, science, and technology.
The important message that I have of all is the importance of dreaming, because that's really what your space vehicle is. And then you want your vehicle to be as robust as possible. And that's where teaming comes in. Teams, technology, engineering, art, math, and science.
Hagel asked the students to stay curious about outer space and encourage them to never give up on their dreams.
No bars, no service, no more. Google is accelerating towards its goal of better, faster mobile internet. The Accelerated Mobile Pages, or AMP project, provides instant internet service connection for mobile users. AMP allows operators to create content that renders anywhere from 15 to 85% faster than a non-AMP web page. Google AMP functions a lot like the traditional HTML, only AMP discards elements that slow down the loading process on web pages, such as JavaScript and third-party scripts.
The technology is open source, which means that it's available for anybody and everybody to get access to it. And it consists of restrictions on fairly standard web technology.
Professor Ellis Horowitz says that this development is not groundbreaking since it only specifies already existing features to make them load faster.
So Scott, today was really warm and beautiful, wasn't it?
Oh, it sure was, Suji. That's what we get for living in beautiful, sunny Southern California.
Exactly.
Let's throw it over to our weather anchor, Hannah Vega, who can tell us the forecast. Hannah.
Thank you so much, Scott. It was a beautiful day today. Right now, we turn to our forecast. We have fair skies and 73 degrees. The winds are pretty low at 3 miles per hour. Moving over to tomorrow's highs, we'll see in San Bernardino 84 degrees, Big Bear 62 degrees. Heading over to the west side, Thousand Oaks 81 degrees, and on the coast in Malibu 76 degrees. Heading over to USC, we'll see 81 degrees here and outside in the 80s and 70s. Our 5-day forecast shows another beautiful week ahead, with Saturday being 76 degrees, probably the coolest day. If you're hanging out with me this week, we're taking a drive outside of Los Angeles.
In a valley surrounded by the Santa Monica Mountains is a Wild West town. This is Paramount Ranch. It's not only a national park, but it also has a history with movies. Since the 1920s, it has been used as a location for films. In the 1950s, Paramount added a town to the set. Sullivan's Travels, Gunsmoke, The A-Team, and even American Sniper have been filmed here. When crews are not filming, you can walk around the town from 8 a.m. until sunset and see where your favorite movie scenes were shot.
Or you can pretend to be an outlaw hiding out.
If you're in the mood for a nice hike, there are also several miles of trails around the ranch. Some trails are open to mountain bikers and equestrians. A visit to the ranch is definitely worth it if you need an escape from the city.
Next time I go, I'll maybe take some friends and rent a horse nearby. So have you guys ever gone horseback riding?
I've never gone, but I'm hoping that I'm one of your close enough friends and you'll take me next time.
Take me too, please.
Yeah, we'll have to plan a day when we're not here.
Yeah, I guess so.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thanks, Hannah.
Magic Johnson Park is going to look a lot different now that LA County supervisors approved plans to renovate the Compton Park. The 104-acre recreational space will have $135 million in renovations done over the next 18 years. Some of the pending renovations include adding an equestrian center, aquatic center, dog park, and much more in the hopes to attract more visitors to the park. You know, Scott, I haven't been to a baseball game.
You haven't been to a baseball game yet, Suji? Well, you know what? I better get you some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
Yes, please. I'm excited.
And until then, let's throw it over to our sports anchor, Jody Storm Sullivan, who has more. Jody.
Thanks, guys. That's right. We're going to head out to the ballpark where the Trojans have no days off on the diamond. And the women's tennis team looks to get a big win against rivals UCLA. And in this week's Storm Spotlight, we take a closer look at why 2 women's lacrosse players are on a national award watch list.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Welcome back to ATVN. The number 21 Trojans are back out on the diamond less than 24 hours after defeating LMU 4-3 last night. The Trojans held off a late rally by the Lions. Sophomore Adalberto Carrillo And senior Timmy Robinson led USC offensively. Carrillo's solo shot in the third inning got the Trojans on the board first. Robinson's sixth inning two-run blast extended USC's lead. Starter CJ Stubbs had a night for his first collegiate debut. Through 6 innings, he allowed 1 run on 4 hits with 1 strikeout. Tonight's game is an exhibition match against the NC Dinos, a Korean professional team. First pitch is scheduled for 6:30 p.m. Heading indoors, the USC men's volleyball team is getting back into match play after their 8-day break. The last time the Trojans met the Gauchos, UCSB beat USC in 4 sets. Coming off of a long break and an upset win over Hawaii, the Trojans are looking to carry momentum into the back half of their season, starting with a win in Santa Barbara. The match will start off at 7 p.m. tonight. USC women's tennis returns to Westwood tomorrow for a crosstown showdown with the Bruins. The last time the women of Troy faced the Bruins, they capped off an undefeated Pac-12 season in a 4-3 comeback win.
I'm really excited to go there and compete. Last year, when we went and played there, I didn't win, so I'm excited to go there and win this time. So.
The women of Troy were ranked number 4 heading into the season, so their 3-3 start is not what they expected. They're looking to get back on track with a win against the Bruins. USC will face off against UCLA tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. Meanwhile, the men's tennis team is off to the South Bay for a Friday fight at the Farm. The Trojans are ranked 13th after a brief stint at number 6. Stanford sits at 29th but boasts the number 4 player in the nation, Tom Fawcett. This match will be considered non-conference, while the Pac-12 face-off will take place in April. USC men's basketball heads to Stanford for a Bay Area bout against the Farm and the Cal Bears later this week. The Trojans have made 219 three-pointers this season, tied for first in the Pac-12. It's the most since USC netted 233 back in 2005. USC's balanced attack includes 6 players averaging over 10 points per game and 4 players with at least 47 threes this season. The Trojans will wrap up the regular season next week with a pair of home games against Oregon State and Oregon. The number 4 women of Troy took to the pool for the first day of the Pac-12 Swimming and Diving Championships. USC finished 3rd as a team last season, but has won at least 2 individual titles in swimming and diving each of the past 8 years. The ladies' 29 individual diving titles is second only to Stanford in the conference all-time. Freshman Kirsten Voss and junior Annika Apostolon both had standout performances against UCLA. Look out for the 2 of them to lead the women of Troy in the pool. The women of Troy hope to count on a wealth of young talent to boost them to their first ever team title. We're turning our attention out to the field on the USC women's lacrosse team. The number 11 women of Troy made an impact on the national stage by upsetting number 5 Duke. Junior attacker Michaela Michael and senior midfielder Amanda Johansson have been named to the 2016 DeWalt Aladone Award watch list, making them my spotlights for the week. Take a look here. As Johansson, number 7, she passes the ball off to number 2, Michael, who then gets it back to Johansson, who nets it in the back for a score. The DeWalt Aladone Award is given to the best female lacrosse player in the country. Michael and Johansson are the first 2 women of Troy to be named to the awards watch list. The Lakers travel to Memphis tonight to take on the Grizzlies in the 3rd and final game of their road trip. Right now, the score is 58-67 with the Grizzlies leading. Matt Barnes is really balling out against his former team as he leads all scorers with 18 points. The Lakers will play the Grizzlies again on Friday. This time, they will face them at home in the Staples Center.
It's a tough game there against the Grizzlies. You know, they're a pretty tough squad, no one to mess with there.
Pretty intense, I think.
Lakers, bit of an up and down season, more of a down so, but they're on the rebuilding track.
You know, as soon as Kobe gets out of there, I think the Lakers will be okay. They'll have a lot more cap room, a lot more money to work with, and, you know, hopefully we can expect the team to perform better in the next couple years.
Definitely.
Sounds good.
Well, thanks so much, Jody. We appreciate that. Now, did you hear that Facebook got a facelift?
See what more you can do besides simply liking a post.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey, she's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Have you ever seen a post on Facebook and wondered if you should like it or not? Well, now you have a few more options to let people know how you really feel. Today, the site unveiled a bunch of new buttons. You can choose to love, laugh, wow, and be sad or mad about a post with just one click. We asked students how they felt about their new choices.
It's pretty cool because I would always see people trying to be like, oh, how can I dislike this? Or how can I say how I actually feel as opposed to just liking it?
It's cool. I guess it could start controversies if like I went on someone's post and I put angry, and then like it would lead to more unnecessary like comment section fighting, you know, that type of Facebook drama.
It seems pretty awesome. This is probably the best update I think Facebook has done. So good job, Facebook.
It took the social media giant over a year to determine which buttons would make the cut. So they're hoping to get at least a like. Now,
have you checked this out before?
You know, I'm actually not on Facebook, Suji. I'm a Twitter-only guy,
Well,
so I don't even know what like means.
Go on it. I think it's a little weird. I'm not used to seeing those emojis. What do you guys think?
Yeah, you know, I checked it out this morning on my phone, just scrolling through Facebook casually, and I'm like hovering over. I kind of see the point in it, but then again, it's like it's just extra steps when I could just sit there and like it.
Exactly.
So that's probably what I'm gonna stick to.
What about you, Hannah?
Yeah, same thing. Like I know BuzzFeed kind of has a similar thing, but they like when you look at their articles, you can see and like choose the different things. But I still ignore that, so I'm like, I don't think this is gonna make too much of a difference. But I understand how it can maybe cause some drama if you hit the wrong button or you hit a button someone
causes more trouble.
Absolutely. I mean, for a simple guy like me, I like to just keep it, you know, keep it straightforward.
Like
Too many options is never a good thing.
That's all you want.
Exactly.
It's a good thing you're on Twitter then. Nice, straightforward, 140 characters.
That's the reason I'm there, Jody. Anyways, thank you guys for watching Annenberg TV News from everyone here at Annenberg Media. I'm Scott Cook.
And I'm Suji Nam. You can watch us on the web at uscannenbergmedia.com. Good night.